Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me.
Hi, this is Kirk with Lionheart Defense, and today we have Mr. Gary Geringer. He is one of our instructors at Lionheart Defense, and so we wanted to take a moment and get to know Gary. And so we thought we'd ask him a couple questions. And so, Gary, how did you get into the whole shooting thing, and just the idea of wanting to be able to train people? How'd you get started?
It started several years ago. I started as a NRA rifle instructor for 4-H, and it has developed from there into actually prepping more for adults and young adults that are seeking to be better educated and be prepared for self-defense measures.
Awesome. And Gary, when did you start shooting? I mean, what age did you kind of start shooting?
Oh my, probably around 9.
Okay.
So
and then from that moment on, so you've kind of done the hunting thing. You've done the
yes, yeah. My dad was a hunter safety course instructor. I've taken that probably 15 times because it was something to do when going out with Dad, you know.
Yeah,
so it's like, hey, I get to shoot for free.
There you go.
Get to go to all the demos, so it's really cool.
That's awesome. Awesome. And so now, as far as what are you excited about being involved with Lionheart as far as the teaching and the training and those kind of things? What's your passion for that? What's something that you are, what? Tell us about that.
Well, I really like helping people to understand better fundamentals of being able to control your firearm and also how to be mentally prepared. Mm-hmm. And one of my little side deals is I like messing with them. Mm-hmm. I tweak with guns a little bit. I like play with them. Done some custom finger grooving for you and others, and awesome. I like just messing. I'm a tinkerer.
I understand. So. Well, and this is one of the things that Gary, for those of you, if you're a Glock person or you're a 1911 person, Gary does modifications on firearms and gets them working really nicely and can change out trigger stuff and modifications. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, that's a service that he provides, and you can contact Gary at lionheartdefense.com and inquire about that, and he'll be happy to answer any questions you might have, and that's one of the things that he does. Gary will also be helping us with our basic pistol classes, with our Concealed Carry 101 and 201 classes, as well as our Intro to Tactical and Tactical 101 and 201 classes. Okay. With all your experience, what things do you think you'd be able to impart into a student that they'd be able to walk away with some knowledge that they might not have prior to coming and taking class with you?
Just being able to focus, the ability to also understand stressful situations and how to take that adrenaline rush and kind of help control it. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. I know for myself, after shooting 25 years, that once I got into IDPA, I looked like a rookie. Felt really bad. I was pretty embarrassed. Shooting with a bunch of senior shooters, and then I looked like I'd never shot a gun before because of the adrenaline dump, the timing, and all that, and just how just the muscle memory wasn't there for that type of situation.
Right.
And it is muscle memory. It is thinking things through before it happens, and then that way you're mentally ready and prepared. It's called preparedness. It's the old motto: be prepared. So
Boy Scout motto, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So what other components do you think that what other components are you excited about teaching in a classroom setting as we get these classes going, and what's some things that you're excited about also teaching people?
Well, one of the biggest things is this is a big freedom that we have, that we get to enjoy, and it's hard for some people to relate with it, that this is a passive aggressive, kind of like our military. We're passive aggressive. We could go and conquer anybody we want to.
Right.
The Second Amendment gives us the right to protect ourselves if we have to be in the aggressive part to save ourselves. And just I like when working with new shooters and walking them through these smaller steps that we don't think about. That's one thing I like. We have enough instructors, safety officers when we're shooting that we're able to catch some mistakes, grips, stances that we can adjust right there. And it starts from the beginning. If your foundation isn't good from the beginning, it doesn't play out in the end.
Yeah, and that's one of the benefits, I think, is that what we have with the amount of instructors that we can have in any given time due to contingent upon the class size, is because we can work with people one-on-one personally. So if we have someone that has an issue where maybe they're on the firing range and they're not holding their gun right, or maybe there's some things that we have the benefit of that is we can actually give kind of personalized service and really help somebody through that class and say, okay, let's work on this particular fundamental, or the way that you're holding your gun, the way you're squeezing the trigger, and all that kind of stuff. And that's those are incredible benefits for somebody, so that somebody doesn't feel like they're getting lost in the shuffle as the class is going on. Gary, tell me, as far as with all the concealed carry things that we have going on in Kansas, what's your thought as far as people getting education beyond just getting their permit? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the education is part of the mindset that we need to have as law-abiding gun owners. Even if Kansas does pass the new concealed carry without permits, I still would recommend anybody to take a class just to be mentally prepared. Just because we have the right to drive a car doesn't mean we get to drive the car without some training. It's basic, simple stuff. Folks, it's just so important to understand, just like driving a car. You don't know how to do it until you practice, until you're taught. Same thing with the concealed carry. Just because you have it, you could injure yourself or the people you're trying to protect if you're not ready.
You have to take the motorcycle safety course.
Yeah, even back when I got my license, I didn't have to have it, but today I have to have the Class C license to drive a motorcycle.
Yeah, so
I had one long before this became a law, and now I have to do that.
Absolutely. Well, and we're firm supporters of the Second Amendment. Don't get us wrong, but I think that, and I think that what Gary reiterated in his answer was that you need to have a certain level of training to be able to facilitate carrying a firearm on a regular basis. And we're, again, firm supporters of the Second Amendment, but at the same time, when you're walking into the unknown, as far as I've never carried a gun before, I wouldn't know, drawing from concealment, most people that I see in those situations, when they draw from the first time from concealment, they cover their right leg, depending on which side they carry on. And there's this thing called the femoral artery. And if you shoot that puppy, you're done. For those who've seen Black Hawk Down, when the guy got shot with the femoral artery, granted that's the movies, but the reality of that is very true. And if you hit that thing, you're done. You're going to bleed out, and you're going to be a corpse lying on the side of the road. So it's very important, and you've got to. And there's been countless things on YouTube and of guys just drawing from their holster and putting their booger picker in the bang switch and shooting themselves in the foot. Those kind of things. Again, those are things that through repetition and doing it the right way every time, all the time. One of the things as we see going on within society, and we see the things on the news. We see, all you have to do is watch the evening news and see all the carjackings, the people that are being held up at the grocery store, and those kind of things. How important do you think it is for people to be able to acquire knowledge and especially be able to be proficient so that they can protect themselves? What's your thoughts on that as far as just seeing everything that's going on in the news today?
I think for me, it's a high priority. I've got some young adult children that they will do this themselves. whether we have the automatic concealed carry or not, they will take these classes. They will understand